What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Terrell, coming to you with another Tea Talk video. So sorry that it's a car edition. However, I'm tired of being quarantined in the house. It's too hot to be outside, so the second best place to do it is in the car. So, head over to esteemedmentality.com. We have a lot of good things going on there. And our Etsy shop, we're actually adding stuff every week now, seems to be. So, support and love Black-owned businesses and look me up. So, really quick, really interesting, and an eye-opener. So, hope y'all having a good day. I have my earpiece in, so if y'all see me fucking with my ear, it's because I have it in. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's being safe and they're covering their mouths. And only but 4 states are requiring masks in places where you cannot practice social distancing. So I hope everyone's being careful out here. I want to have a really quick tea talk with y'all. And it involves a friend and myself. Just not so much of a comparison side by side, but just more or less of a realization of things when you feel as if, like, within that moment, you don't think things are going to get better and you're about to lose your mind. Okay? So, this tea talk here is probably it's not going to be one of the most realist and honest, because I have tons of videos that I'm that in. But I want to say this: getting your shit together takes longer than a year, it takes longer than a month, it takes longer than 6 months, it damn near takes a decade. Give y'all a little backstory. Y'all, I'm pretty sure if you saw my other videos and everything like that, I had brought up the fact of when I was 21, I had gotten married. Okay, by 24, I was divorced, and it was an eye-opener or eye-opening experience for me, because I can honestly say I didn't care for my husband like that. He completely changed after we got married, so I completely just did not like him, and we got divorced. Now, after I got divorced, mind you, I'm going on 7 years divorce. Divorce ain't happy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And within that whole entire time frame, it was just like, I can't explain it, but I can't explain it, but really, at this point in life, I just think it just strengthened my hustle skills. Because when you're 24, you're still in college, still trying to figure out what you're trying to do with yourself. It is a struggle. Especially living in Virginia with that high ass taxes coming out your check, you having to pay it. Living was hard. But I still wanted, and I was still adamant about school, because growing up, my mother was not very supportive of me going to school. My mother was not encouraging of going to school. My brother, he was a little bit further in education than me. He didn't even finish school. And mind you, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I say my mom was not the most encouraging, like, she used to say stuff like, out of the 2 kids I have the most stupid child. Like, she used to say stuff like that. And people don't understand that when you young, you soak that up. So you screaming and hollering and stuff. Y'all going back and forth. Y'all going back and forth more than y'all going back and forth checking your children's homework. That type of stuff, like those type of things down the line with life of a child, maturing, puberty, relationships, friendships, all of that in the beginning, in the root stages, that's everything that's going to strengthen to be bones down the line. And what happens is you get married early because you think you found the one. This is going to be the one that's going to haul off and mold your ass. And then, excuse me, you get to a point where it don't work out. So now you feel like you being reshaped. Because it's just like, man, like, this is for the birds. Well, everybody try to tell you, but you want to act like Play-Doh. Cool. So you haul off and you get reshaped. And now you have this new mode of having to be by yourself and do things for yourself and be self-sufficient. You have to learn how to stop crying and not cry long enough for you to be able to think of a solution. So then that way, when it's time for you to cry, you have happy tears because you didn't let it conquer you. We need to talk about the emotional ditch today. Because 7 years down the line, putting me right to where I'm at right now. I may not have had the best relationships in the past as far as me having someone as a spouse, but the best contender I could have ever pictured being in my shoes is me, myself. Not every journey is going to feel great. Like, it's not. But the thing that has taught me so much about it, even through my last relationship was worse than my marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, the love that I had for who I was in a relationship with, I didn't even have for my husband. So going through all of that, and it's like a delay learning reaction to everything, it puts you in a place where it's not so much of like, what the fuck am I doing? It's just like, how do I get up from here? And I have said something in one of my videos about break what, and this is part of that breakthrough as far as you like really understanding, because before you put clay in any type of heated compartment for it to actually solidify and be permanent for whatever mold or structure you want it to be and form after you bake it, you got to mold it first. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order for you to see the garden that you want to see, and you want to grow, you have to find somewhere in your vision to plant the seeds. And sometimes the seeds that we plant for us to emotionally grow is really rooted in what we have to learn. And the harder we cry about it, the harder we fight against it, that's how much we're going to get out of that crop. That's how nutritious that crop is. Because if you don't pay attention to when you need water, if you don't pay attention to when you need food, when you don't pay attention to when you need support, and I mean like literally sometimes you have to go to complete strangers to get your love and support. Sometimes, for me, 85% of the time, that was the go-to. I can help way more people in similar situation of what I've been through than for me to sit here and soak about it by myself. That's how I've dealt with depression. That's how I dealt with anxiety, is that there's always someone out here doing worse than you. And even if so happens you're in the same situation, you can't tell that person their emotions no more than they can describe yours out loud, so that way everyone can hear it. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel as if like you in those trenches and like, you know, I mean, like, you cry yourself awake, you cry yourself asleep. Them type. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you something. That's the beginning. A wise person once told me, with all this pandemic stuff going on, mind you, I saw all this pandemic type stuff years ago. You know, I saw this vision for all this stuff to be happening years ago. The one thing I remember a friend of mine told me is that, you know, you can always lose a job, but you can't lose talent. So get up and dust yourself off. And if you think it hurts now, oh, you understand how many smiles you're going to have on your face a day. If you just be willing just to get it, go through it, get through it, and deal with it right now. I used to think the folks I used to deal with were like A1s. You know what I'm saying? 5 stars. You know, no, they weren't. Maybe in that season they were, but for where I'm at, from the emotional ditch I came from, no, they were just stepping stones. They were just stepping stones. They were like the erosion that I needed for me to be able to get grip to climb up out of there. Like they had some type of purpose. But when you look at it and you see them in public, or they try to contact you, you know what I'm saying? They try to do little empty little such and suches and love bomb you so that way they can get you to turn your head. Nah. Because understand, they're stepping stones. They're the erosion that's needed for you to be able to dig yourself up out of that ditch. And once you get yourself out of that ditch, what happens to erosion? It starts to crumble, right? So once you up out of that ditch and that erosion starts to crumble, you don't go and look back down at it, because hell, you ain't want to be there in the first place. You happy you able to see something new. You able to see something different. You able to know that up here, yeah, it may be a little bit warmer, but you know what? Fresh air. I got some sunlight on me. All right, next move. Let's get to it. That's your emotional ditch. Your emotional ditch has a purpose out of this world. Now, I can't even complain, because even though it took me 12 years, I finished school. Even though it took thousands of dollars, I'm in that house. Even though it took me, hustle after hustle, everything in mine is paid for. And I know it's from God, because God didn't take it away from me. So understand that emotional ditch is to prep you and prepare you and to get you into the mind frame of speaking positivity. And even if that's hard for you, just determination is positivity. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there, it's just like, man, it's hot. I can't wait to go hurry up and run to the next tree so I can get some shade. Need I say more? You know what I'm saying? You may not be a person to know that's positivity, but for you to say you are excited to get to the next stop where you're able to get a tree, get underneath the tree and get some shade, that sounds like positivity to me. That's you getting out the emotional ditch of you not liking the sun beating down on you, you sweating, you don't got an extra shirt, you don't got no ice in your cup. You're just done. You're just over it right now. But instead of just stopping right there in the middle of the sun, knowing that it's beating on you, you're telling yourself when you get to the next spot, you're going to be so excited because you're going to be able to cool down and you're going to be able to get your energy back up. That's the same thing when it comes to an emotional ditch, y'all. So I'm going to leave that there. Be sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that way when I have a tea talk, you get an alert. And I will see y'all on my next video. Bye.
The depths of the media sees no evil. Buildings crashing 9/11, no sake for the people. Children take to everything. Others willing to feel anything just to say they were there. Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, domestic violence. Do you care? When the curtains close, your head hangs low. You're wishing someone was there. Just turn to me for relief. I know how you feel. I am you. You are me. We share symptoms of the black sheep. Aren't you aware?
This image, I remember howling winds, nights trying to hustle to 10 degrees, ash on my knuckles. Coke in my long john, sipping on the brisk. A tall glass, a nigga, please, who get a sip of this? Coke in my long john, slave to the sin. Call me young coke there if the cops try to frisk. I may get a grip, I may get a grip. I may slapping 20s, lots of tails and some shrimp. I used to bump Wayne all day as a pimp, now I'm past Wayne, Drake and going in.